back in 2009. I was still a student, and I had a lot of friends that were actually already in the business. And they always told me, you could be a star, you could make it. And I said, okay, let's try it. And then I decided to go with the best. So, of course, I chose Jasmine. And I never looked back since then. It's been 13 years and counting.
13 years?
Yeah, yeah, it's been 13 years. Oh my God.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's been a long journey.
Oh my goodness, I am so excited for this interview. Okay. Oh, so first and foremost, I'm curious, like why, even 13 years ago, the industry was different. Why Jasmine? Like, why did you want to be a Jasmine girl?
I looked around to other sites and I thought that Jasmine was the most user-friendly, the most, generally the most friendly site. People were nice. I tried it for a few days and I really liked it. I found myself wanting to come here more and more and more. So it was a great experience right from the start. People were very welcoming. Oh my God, the traffic was intense back in those days. And I started light, I started in the hot flirt section and I worked my way up from there. So it was pretty easy at the beginning.
You know, you've been in the industry for 13 years.
Yeah.
So obviously, that tells me two things. You're good at it and you
Oh, thanks.
enjoy it.
Yeah, I really enjoy it. Yeah, definitely. I've always been sexually curious and also curious about the human mind and, getting to know people and to understand them and to know what makes them tick. So this industry has really been the perfect one for me in every
Wow.
aspect.
Okay, so let's talk about that. You said that you've always been curious about sexuality, and you also said the human mind.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people sometimes miss that part that this is a little
Yeah.
bit more than the sexual content.
Yeah, yeah. This is not all about sex. It's about mind games, and it's about meeting all types of people. The weird kind, the romantic kind, the just want to talk kind. I've met all of them, and they're very interesting. There's never a dull day on Jasmine.
I love that. Okay. So there's never a dull day on Jasmine. Tell me, okay, first thing that comes to your mind, what is one of the either your favorite memories on Jasmine or one of just the craziest moments you've had?
Oh my God. Can I even say it? Oh, it's very dirty.
Okay.
Let me think about it. Let me think. I've had lots of fun experiences on here, and I've made a lot of friends, and we've had fun. But mostly, okay, my greatest experiences, I guess, were most recent from December with the VIPs. Oh my God, those are the best. Like getting a group of people, all different types of people, and getting together and having fun together. That's the most fun I can have in a day. Yeah, definitely.
I love that. Okay, so walk me through that experience. So it sounds like a party, like an
Yes,
online party.
party and everybody's invited. And we like to pick a theme, like crazy assistant. My boss is gone and I want to have fun until he comes back. So we gather and we have fun. And actually, I got caught. I pretended to get caught by my boss, and that was the funniest moment because the guys loved it.
Oh my goodness, that sounds like so much fun.
Was crazy. And the guys loved it. They played into it and it was so much fun. I think it was like 50 guys by the start of the show. So it was like 50 guys and I going crazy, having fun, laughing together. Some hot moments there. Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so I can see how that's so fun for members, obviously, but
Me
I
too.
can also really see exactly. I can see how that's really fun for you too.
Exhilarating, the feeling of guys coming in, rushing in to have fun with me. That's the best moment ever. It makes you feel so good, and it's like a drug. You get addicted, and you always want more, and you crave more, so you work more hours, and so on.
Okay, so let's talk about that. You crave more, so you work more hours. So, you know, okay, there's this idea out there that models are like forced to work and that it's like not their choice. Talk to me about that. Where does that come from? And is that true?
Okay, so back in 2009, I started as an independent model, okay, and I've always been that because I'm, a free spirit and I can't be tamed, all that. But I don't think it's true that anybody forces models to come here. I think it's a very nice place where you can express yourself and be who you are and be free entirely. So people like that, and especially models. And I don't think anybody forces them. I think they force them actually to go offline and sleep. Yeah, when you get into it, it's hard to leave. It's really hard. So, yeah, nobody forces anybody to be here.
Wow. So I love that. It's like, you said one of the things that you like is just, you craving that fun, that attention, that from the members. And I'm sure also, as far as like working long hours, it's kind of like with any job, the more you put into it and the more you work, there is an output that you get more too, whether it's financial or whatever the case is.
Well, it is a financial aspect to it. Sure, I can't lie, of course. But at the end of the day, you get to meet new people from parts of the world you haven't been to already or would like to go. And it's very interesting, and you get to help them. Sometimes they're very depressed or very down. And the feeling that you're making him happy, in the 5, 10, 1 hour you spend with him, that's very good. It's a very good feeling.
So
You feel
you
like you're achieving something, something helping people, putting something out back into the universe.
Ooh, I love how you said that, putting something back into the universe and something of like true value because it's like anything can go away, anything material can go away or be destroyed or get lost or whatever. But when you give someone positive energy or confidence or support or love, like those
Yeah,
things are intangible
long
and they're,
lasting. Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm. And it means something at the end of the day. You help somebody and they'll come back and be your friend. And maybe they'll do that for you one day when you're feeling down, they'll help you and so on. It's a very great experience.
I can see how knowing for sure that you've made a difference in someone's life is very emotionally fulfilling.
It is. It is. Yeah. I go to bed at night and I think about the people I've spent time with and how they're grateful for it. And they tell me, thank you for the help. Thank you for being there. And it really means something. It fills your heart, makes you feel all warm and fluffy inside.
I love that.
It really does. I mean, I can't really explain it, but you feel fulfilled. You feel like you've done something today. You didn't just wake up and go through the motions and then, you know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you have. Um, it's interesting because we've also been interviewing experts, human connection experts, sexologists. Yes. And the science is very clear. Connection is pretty much our most primal need as human beings.
Yeah, exactly. I
But
agree.
but not everyone has the same access to like in-person connection. And so,
Yeah, that's true. Especially nowadays, the recent pandemic and all that. That brought in a whole another species of guys, the lonely, depressed guys. So conversations got deeper, longer, you know. It's not just about the fooling around anymore.
Ooh, tell me more about that. So you said that the conversations got deeper and longer over the last couple of years.
Yeah, recently it has. Well, I've known members, I have members that I've known for like 12 years now, and they keep coming back. But recently, the guys seem to be lonelier. They find it hard to go talk to women, so they come here and they form a relationship with you, and it's not just, take your clothes off and stuff like that. No, they really want to get to know you, and they want to be known. So we talk about their lives, their jobs, their how they're feeling, so it's a very deep connection. It's not just shallow fun anymore.
Do you ever feel like that's hard on you emotionally to like listen to those things all the time or take them on?
Mm, For me personally, no. I like to listen. I've always been friendly with guys. I don't know. Most of my friends in real life are men, actually. And I like it. I like to hear them out. I like to hear their problems. Maybe I can help them sometimes. And I have to admit, I've talked about some of my problems with them, and they help me. So it's a mutual thing.
I love that. Yeah, it's mutual. And I think that's what I've gathered from the interviews I've done is that the connection it's really authentic, usually.
Yeah.
And when it's authentic, it goes both ways. So you're there for the members and they're there for you. I mean, they really care about their favorite models, you know?
Most of them really do. Most of them really care and take interest, and devote their time and their resources, and they come see you and they remember you. But not all of them. Some of them are the biggest weirdos on the planet, but I love them too. They need love too. So
Right. I mean, yeah, it's like when you think about it, the world, like you said, just has all sorts of people in it. And so when you're
that's
dealing
what I
with
love about it. This is what I love most about Jasmine. Nobody's the same. Nobody. Everybody's unique. Everybody's their own person, and that's the most interesting thing.
that is the most interesting thing I think even just about life. You know what I mean? Is like experiencing so many different personalities and people. And that's why going back to kind of what we talked about at the start of this conversation, where you're like, I'm just myself, I'm authentic. I think that's what makes
This is the most important thing for success. I mean, the moment you start lying and treating them very shallow, that's when you're finished. You can go do something else. But as long as you're a genuine person and direct and honest, they'll always remember you and react to it accordingly. So that's
wow.
to be.
Okay, I'm really curious. I have two questions on my mind to ask. I'm trying to decide which one I want to ask first. First and foremost, what's your favorite aspect of your career on Jasmine?
I gotta be honest here. I've worked before Jasmine. I had jobs, so I have experience with that. But the most important thing for me is making my own hours and making my own schedule and enjoying my free time as well. So they're very understanding with that, and I love that.
So you're like the freedom of your time, it sounds like, is your favorite
Yes,
part.
enjoying life to the fullest. When I want to work, I work. When I don't want to work, I do something else. And that's perfect for me.
That truly is, I think, one of the ultimate luxuries in life.
Yes, because when I want to work and I come to work, I'm all there. I don't
Right.
have so if I don't want to work, I won't give it 100%. So why bother, you know?
100%. You're so right because it's like when you know that you need rest and you need to
Yes,
regenerate or whatever it is, you take that time and then you're refreshed and happy for your work.
exactly. And then I'm ready to give them all of me. So I'm
Right.
all in, all out. I don't do halves.
It sounds like what you're saying is like your career on Jasmine allows you the space to fill your own cup, so to speak, so
Yes,
that you
exactly.
can fill others' cups. Because they always say, like you can't help other people unless you're full.
Exactly. So I'm always all there, full and ready for all the people that I meet, all the types of people that I meet.
So, since we've started this interview, we've talked about how you have control and freedom over your time. You enjoy what you do, being playful. Um, and it sounds like even just the attention from the members has like
Oh,
given
yes.
you love and confidence, maybe.
Yes. That's probably the biggest drug, compliments and love and attention. Who doesn't
It
love that?
is. It is. No, really, we all love attention. Um, And yet, as I'm sure you know, this industry still has so much stigma and taboo and misunderstanding.
Yes, sadly, yes. And I think that will never change, sadly, because some people are just close-minded, and they refuse to understand and accept something that they will never do. So the best is just to ignore them.
Right. So for those that think that if you could put into one sentence, if you want to, you don't have to,
Okay.
a message to people that think that you're being forced to do this, that you don't really want to do this, that you don't enjoy doing this.
Oh, those people are actually they're reflecting this on me because they're actually unhappy with their lives and they're jealous of me because they see how happy and well adjusted we are as models. You'll never see a mad model or angry model, and we're all happy all the time. Why? Because we have the perfect life and the perfect job and we do what we like, so it makes us happy. Our life is happy, so we're all zen.
You
And
are,
try
yeah.
that. People should try doing whatever they like in life. That's the most important thing.
There's such a mindset of freedom and confidence that you're showing and displaying. And I really do think that you hit the head on the nail, which is that people just are projecting onto others their
They
own
are.
limitations.
Yes, they are. I truly believe that, and I've truly seen that, and I've confronted them, and they understood, and they changed their life. So I've actually helped them, I guess. Some people
We're
didn't like that, okay, I have to admit. But at the end of the day, if you stop and think about it, why are you so mad? You gotta think about it and realize that you have to change yourself first, and then judge others.
right. What would you say is the biggest lesson you've learned after 13 years in this career?
Oh, the biggest lesson. Uh, to talk less and listen more. Definitely. This is the one I learned. Listen to people because you'll get far. You learn a lot in life.
I agree. That is a really good one.
Yes, I've learned that the hard way, but I did learn it. Mm,
Have you ever, I mean, I'm sure you have, given how many people you talk to in a day, but have you ever like been in a conversation with someone and you really don't say many words? They're talking mostly, and at the end they're like, this was such a great conversation.
well, this is actually my technique. I like to get them talking and talking and talking, and I just interject every once in a while, and they just let it out completely. And then at the end of the conversation, they're like, "Oh my God, this was fantastic." Yeah, I
Yes.
like to do that.
That's
Mm.
such a like hidden gem of knowledge that a lot of people don't know, but
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
so true. If you want to be an interesting conversationalist, listen more than you talk.
Yes. Definitely. Because nobody comes here to listen to me. They just want to talk. So I just help them let it out completely, and they love it.
What other topics have you learned about from working on Jasmine?
I've definitely expanded my sexual horizons. That's a
Hmm.
given. You cannot not learn these things. I was pretty close-minded myself at the beginning, but I've learned that you have to stop and think about it and be more rational. And, there's many ways to solve a problem.
I love that answer.
Yeah. I've learned it from a bunch of members that were pretty smarter than I am. Mm,
There are many ways to solve a problem. Amen.
yeah.
Okay, so you've mentioned that you've grown and expanded sexually. Talk to me about that. Like how have you grown more sexually or as a woman, or have you deepened into your femininity? Tell me.
Oh, yes. Well, looking at myself, admiring myself, my movements, you just learn every inch of your body and how to work with it and how to use it, to control other people's minds, make them crazy. And about sexuality, I've learned to accept absolutely every decision that people make. And, I've learned a lot of naughty things actually. I don't think I can get really into it. It's very dirty. But I've really learned to try it before I judge, because it ends up being real fun, usually.
Oh, I love it. You know, it's something I've talked to a couple members about and a couple experts about is that, you know, in general, most societies and cultures around the world, we're all still very afraid of sexuality and we treat it like we can't talk about it, but it limits us exploring like the depths of who we are.
Yeah, exactly. So once you let loose and just try it and go with it, so you'll find that it's actually quite pleasing and quite entertaining sometimes.
Incredible. Okay, now I have a question I'm really curious about. What's one of the biggest things that you've learned about men since you started your career?
They're completely crazy and fantastic. They're very deep creatures, they're even deeper than us women and more sensitive, although they don't show it all the time, but they are. And that's pretty fantastic. I love it.
There's this like 90-year-old relationship psychologist that I love.
Okay.
And she said that men have masculine bodies, but like feminine souls.
Yeah, definitely. That's true.
And we as women, we have feminine bodies, but masculine souls. Like that's why we're the ones that give birth. And if you notice, like we can get into a fight with someone and just
We're
like
definitely tougher than they are at an emotional level. Definitely. That's a given. But physically, well, I don't know. We're definitely not. But I love that about them. I love that they act all tough, and then when you click the right button, they just soften up and they melt in your hands, and it's absolutely fantastic.
what's the right button?
Well, that depends on each individual. There's not a set button for everybody. Everybody has their thing.
And you as a model, it's basically your specialty to know where to find that man's button, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It usually takes about 5 minutes to find it. Some guys are tougher than the others, but they always crack. They always have that thing that you discover, and then they melt and they open up like a little flower, and they let you discover them, and it's a great journey every time.
Do you have any female members?
Yes, I had a few female members. Actually, at the present date, I actually have a couple,
Oh,
dominantly male. Yeah, I'd say about 95% male. But over the years, I've met a few women and they were very interesting, but they were dirty. Oh my God. They were like so creative and so much imagination. I was like overwhelmed every time. Oh, they're great. They're great. I always loved meeting women. I didn't believe them at first, but every time they turned on the camera, so.
right. What do you think the members are actually looking for? Like,
Mm,
what keeps them coming back? What do you think it is that keeps them coming back?
well, members that come back to me, they love my dark sense of humor, and they tell me that they crave, just my presence. Whatever we do, if we talk, if we have fun, they just crave my presence and just being with me all the time. I think they just want some, attention, a companion.
Yeah, I think that's the key word is companionship. I think that I really like that word, and I think you're really right about that because yeah, someone that's just craving your attention and just wanting to be with you, or that's
Yeah,
companionship.
basically they just want to know that they'll send me a message and I'll always be available to them whenever they want 24/7. So I think they really like that and they respond to that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I feel like that feels good for anyone actually to know like this person's going to be there for me no matter what, you know?
You can always rely on a model, to find her and to be available to talk to them about anything and, you know, no limits, basically. That's the most important thing.
I'm curious, like, I'm sure in your 13 years, you've seen the industry evolve over and over. And I'm sure what worked for a few years to be successful won't work in a few years or doesn't work anymore, or, lots of
Yes.
changes.
Yeah, but changes are good sometimes.
Right. I mean, exactly. That's life, right? Life.
Exactly. Mhm.
There's a saying, it's evolve or die. You know what I mean? Like,
That really describes this industry perfectly. I mean, to the letter. You just you go with it or you go home.
is there anything about the industry that you don't like or that you think needs improvement?
Oh my God. How much time do we have? Okay. What needs improvement? Well, I gotta be honest here. Although it's not the popular, opinion, I don't think this job is for everybody. I'm sorry to say, but it's not. So there's always going to be those models that really don't understand what this is all about. And they make it harder for everybody else. Okay, so that's what I'd improve on. I would start, filtering out some people. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I maybe put a lot more effort than some others.
Is there anything else?
Regarding the site,
Or the site or the industry at large?
no, I think it's going pretty well so far. I mean, if I didn't like it, I'd stop doing it.
Right.
So I'm pretty happy as I am right now.
Very good.
Yeah, I think it's a really good job. It really is. At the end of the day, there's nothing I really change other than what I said. I filter out some people, but there's enough space for everybody. So
Yeah, that makes sense. That absolutely makes sense. Well, I like to end the interviews by asking one final question, which is just what's something in your life that you're the most grateful for right now?
I am grateful for everything I have, for everything I've learned, for everything that I do every day. Definitely. I'm grateful for everything in my life right now. I'm so grateful.
Beautiful.
No, seriously, I mean it. I wake up every day and I can't believe how good it is. So that's what I'm grateful for.
Yeah, no, I can feel the authenticity in you saying that. Yeah.
And I'm grateful for my cute little dogs too. So
That's a big one.
oh yeah.
Very good. You're incredible. I love your energy. I love your energy.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, after working 10 hours and having a lot of fun with the guys, I'm always hyped up. It's always hard to get to sleep. Seriously.
That seriously means that what you're doing is fueling your soul and feeding you. Like, you know what I mean?
Yes, yes, yes. Whenever you finish work at the end of the day and you still have energy, that means you had a good day.
Absolutely. And it means that, yeah, like you mentioned earlier, you're meant to be doing what you're doing.
Yes, if you're happy with it and you can sleep at night and you're, well adjusted and feel good all the time, that means you're doing something right.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're too sweet. And I'll be hearing from you soon.
Yeah.